Russia is buying $10 billion worth of Bitcoin to evade US sanctions. Is that true? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Crypto Bobby. Hope you are having a great day, great night, wherever you are watching or listening in from. And yes, that is the hot new rumor on the crypto Twitter internet streets, is that Russia is buying $10 billion worth of Bitcoin to evade US sanctions. And coincidentally, when this news rumor started to circulate, the price of Bitcoin and also basically all of the crypto assets in the cryptocurrency market jumped about 5 to 10+% on the news. But is this actually anything worth even thinking about? What would the potential implications of this be? Or is this just a load of stupid horse crap that is flying around on these internet streets that we should dismiss and treat with extreme caution? Well, let's talk about that and a lot more in today's episode. Let's go. So this morning on January 14th of 2019, the very credible and very well-respected journalism institution, the Telegraph, specifically their technology intelligence division, published this: Russia plans to tackle U.S. sanctions with Bitcoin investment, says Kremlin economist. And there is a picture of our man, Vladimir Putin. And it goes in to say this: Russia is preparing an investment in Bitcoin to replace the US dollar as a reserve currency in a bid to tackle US sanctions, according to a Russian economist with close ties to the Kremlin. Now, it goes on to say, and this is Vladislav, definitely butchering that pronunciation, Ginko, says this: the Russian government is about to make a step to start diversifying financial reserves into Bitcoin, since Russia is forced by U.S. sanctions to dump U.S. Treasury bonds and take back U.S. dollars, Mr. Ginko said. So essentially saying, yes, Russia is going to start buying up Bitcoin, which could be as much as $10 billion worth. Now, here's the problem is that $10 billion is currently 15% of the entire supply of Bitcoin's market cap. And that does not take into consideration the number of lost Satoshi coins, as well as just the number of general lost coins that are currently in existence as well. So we're talking about probably closer to 20% of the entire market capitalization that this Telegraph and Zero Hedge article, will get into all of that, but that these articles are rumoring that Russia wants to buy. Also, we want to take into consideration how this might even happen, whether we're talking about literally a country buying spot Bitcoin, whether it's mining. And then I see people, I was kind of negative or joking about this happening on Twitter, and people are saying, you know, why are you being so negative? They could be mining this. They can be buying this OTC. The likelihood of a foreign entity or just anybody literally being able to accumulate $10 billion worth of Bitcoin right now as a long is very, very, very small. There's just not enough liquidity on the books. The books for Ethereum, the books for anything below that, certainly not. But the books for Bitcoin even, I mean, you're talking about 20% essentially of the liquid market cap. That's crazy to think about in general. And I just think these rumors are funny, but just outrageous. And when you look at the Bitcoin chart today, first of all, we had the wonderful Bart Simpson chart happen. I was skiing this weekend and checked, I think it was around 11 a.m. yesterday on the January 13th, where over the course of 1 hour, Bitcoin dropped about 5% or so, kind of moved sideways for the past really 24 hours. And then we saw a candle shoot straight up, actually even above where it was previously the other day. And people were, of course, attributing these rumors or attributing this market movement to the rumors that came out about Russia acquiring $10 billion, or not necessarily yet acquiring, but going to acquire $10 billion worth of Bitcoin. I do want to say, when you look at these articles, as well as when you think about this stuff in general, number one, if Russia hadn't bought $10 billion, and in my opinion, there's no freaking way in hell that Russia bought $10 billion, that Russia accumulated 20% of the Bitcoin supply without making the price move upwards. That just wouldn't happen. But even if they were to do so, in the future, why would they come out and say, hey, we're going to buy all this stuff, and then let that potentially affect the price? So number one, that's stupid in and of itself. Number two, we look at this stuff, consider the credibility of who is posting this. We have the Telegraph, which is very much equivalent to the Wall Street Journal or whoever. I'm kidding, I'm being sarcastic. Then we also have Zero Hedge posting this. Russia prepares to buy up to $10 billion in Bitcoin to evade U.S. sanctions. Zero Hedge, another incredibly credible source, posting this information. So this is something that I think, okay, would I like a foreign country to, or would I like any country, the US, Russia, China, whoever the hell it is, to buy 20% of the Bitcoin supply? Probably not. At this time, probably not. Would that pump the price of my crypto? Yeah, it would. It would pump that to the freaking moon. But also, just being realistic, I don't think that there's any chance of that happening. And this just kind of brings me full circle to the point of right now, and obviously this has continued to happen and continue to happen and continue to happen, but people will grasp for any straws to justify price movements, and there is still a vast degree of manipulation in the cryptocurrency markets. As I've said before, and as a lot of you guys know, when you're talking about cryptocurrency, people look at technical analysis quite a bit. Fundamental analysis you can kind of look at. In the case of Ethereum, with the upcoming Constantinople hard fork, that's in some cases really fundamental analysis. But there really is no proper way to value cryptocurrency. There is no formula. There is no specific way in which you are supposed to be valuing these assets. Could they be valued at zero? Yes. Could Bitcoin be valued at $100,000? Yes. Could it be valued anywhere in between? Yes. There is no specific formula, and anybody can look at the chart and anybody can look at a number of different numbers and data points and manipulate that to think what they want to think. But when you look at this is just another kind of attempt by people, in my opinion, to justify price swings and also to pump their own bags. And your boy Bobby isn't falling for it. I don't think that there's any chance that this is happening. I think that this is ridiculous, and that is my own personal opinion on the subject. Now it's time for a little Throwback Thursday, even though it is Monday, because at this time last year, January 4th, 2018, we were really at the top of the altcoin bubble. Bitcoin at that point in time, exactly a year ago, January 14th, Bitcoin was at $14,000 coming off its dip from $19,000 to $20,000. We had Ethereum on January 14th at $1,300. XRP was $1.94. Bitcoin Cash was over $2,500. To put things into perspective, the market capitalization for Ethereum, or for ETH, was $132 billion last year. Right now, the entire cryptocurrency market cap of all the cryptocurrencies on CoinMarketCap is less than $125 billion. So the price of Ethereum, or the entire ETH market cap last year, exceeded where we are at right now. I think that it is pretty incredible, the level of pullback we've seen. Also, how overextended things were at this point in 2019, the level of euphoria that I think a lot of people felt. Also, the just level of FOMO that was kind of whipped up. Looking back, really one of the more incredible times that I've personally experienced, one of the more crazy times I think a lot of people have experienced. And I think one of the things too that is interesting is the number of people that actually saw this degree of pullback happening and how minimal that was, especially at this point in time in January of 2018, a year ago. I think a lot of people had these massive predictions. I myself thought Bitcoin would be worth more than $14,000 at the end of 2018. Obviously, that was not the case. But even in kind of the circles of some of the most professional investors out there, I'm in a few Telegram groups with some of the larger professional investors, like people that have 10, 15, 20 years of Wall Street experience and are managing tens and hundreds of millions of dollars in the crypto space. And there were polls that were taken, and I think, and I'm remembering this right, the lowest prediction somebody had, it was about mid 2018, there was a poll that was conducted where it was guess the end of year market cap for the entire cryptocurrency market at the end of 2018, and the lowest guess was $200 million in market cap, and a lot of them were kind of $200 billion, but a lot of them were basically $500 billion. Some were even over $1 trillion in terms of the estimation. And it goes to show that even some of the most educated people in the space underestimated the degree in which the market could pull back from the highs of mid-January of last year. So to wrap things up, when we are looking at news that comes out, specifically as it relates to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, always take into consideration the source of the news, as well as the likelihood that this is possible, as well as the incentives around the people who are releasing it kind of behind it. Looking at this, is Russia buying $10 billion worth of Bitcoin? In my opinion, it is highly, highly, highly unlikely. And anybody who does not take this information from the Telegraph and from Zero Hedge with a grain of salt is a little bit crazy. If Russia comes out and buys $10 billion worth of Bitcoin spot on exchanges or OTC, whatever it might be, I will eat my words. I will also be a very rich man, or a richer man than I am right now, which is coincidentally not very rich because Bitcoin's price is down quite a bit. But always take into consideration where this information comes from, as well as the incentives of those behind it. I really don't understand why the economist from Russia would come out and say, hey, we're going to buy Bitcoin a month before we're going to buy Bitcoin. Just doesn't make sense. It's stupid. Also, getting into the fact that why would Russia even want to be diversifying into Bitcoin when it's already diversifying into a bunch of other foreign currencies as well? Who knows? I don't know. Not up for me to decide, but I will take this information with the fattest grain of salt that you can find. And as I said, I highly, highly doubt it. And I think anybody getting really excited about this news is just trying to fill their own internal biases and wanting the price of Bitcoin to go up. As much as I want the price of Bitcoin to go up, I'm not just going to take every piece of positive rumors and positive news and spoon feed you that shit and tell you everything is fantastic. So that's my personal opinion on it. Also, crazy to think about where we've come in the past year, really, or where we've dropped from in the past 365 days, and hope that for you, that you've gotten a chance to hopefully learn something, you've minimized your losses, and things have hopefully not been the worst year for you in general outside of that. Guys, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I have a couple other interviews coming up with some people in the crypto space, in the Bitcoin space, as well as just in the cryptocurrency space in general that I'm trying to set up this week. So should have something for you on Thursday and Friday that you should be enjoying very much. Outside of that, hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to subscribe, if you're new to the channel, would love to have you here. Thank you so much for your time. Crypto Bobby signing out. Hope you have a good one. Peace.